And I was basically telling this person, like, you have no chance with me. This is not going to happen. This is not an option. This is never going to happen. And he goes, well, that's what I really like about you, your cruelty. And I'm like, yeah, people pay me for this. Are you getting it yet? Like,
hello again. And we're back with Schari.
Schari.
I always mess up that.
Yeah, really.
English is my 25th language.
Show off. Always bragging.
I grew up speaking Mandarin, so. We're in a new dungeon.
Yes, my third.
Beautiful.
And much bigger than the other two combined.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think the other two could both fit in here and
Absolutely,
have room to spare.
And more stylish.
And
Yeah.
we'll include the photos of the rest of it. We're sitting here because it was the most convenient place to shoot, but the dungeon is mostly over there.
Yes, mostly over there. But there's, a couple of things over here. This tends to be the chill area of the dungeon because we have parties here. Like now I have a dungeon big enough to have parties and socialize and have people come. And it's been a really, I would say a real wonderful thing out of COVID for people to get back to a community and have a like an actual meeting place to meet with your community besides a munch or a dinner. Like now you can actually get together and experiment and explore and play and everything that you've been looking at the internet for the past 3 years because you've been stuck in your basement. Now you can come and see it live.
So you actually do groups?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have parties up to 35 people.
Wow.
That's what I cap it out at.
I don't even know 35
It's 2 floors.
People, so. I don't even know 35 people.
Oh, well, see, now you should come to a party and then you'd meet them. But yeah, it's just become this incredible place where we do usually the third weekend of every month, and we do a Friday night and a Saturday night. And usually our Friday nighters are LGBTQ plus, all the letters are welcome. And it's really to create a safe space for them so that they can come and feel safe. Just that's the best. I mean, there's no other word to describe it. And then our Saturday night is like our free for all. So like anybody can come. And they do, and they come and they play down here. They beat the crap out of each other down here. We are a sex positive place because when I keep it small, I can.
Boxing gym.
Yeah, not quite the boxing gym, although we do have somebody who comes and he brings his boxing gloves, but I got to teach him how to punch. Not because he doesn't know how to punch, he knows how to box. But you don't box a body when you're doing this. It's a totally different method because you're going to tire the fuck out.
Liver punch, you'll be out sleeping.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like if you sit here as a dom and just are you're going to get tired, and then you're useless for what you set out to do. So you have to work smarter. So there's a way to land a punch, and then there's a way to like throw a punch, and you got to land them. Like it's because I aim to bruise. Like that's. My goal is to leave a bruise. They get really annoyed when I don't leave bruises.
That's amazing. Get paid to beat people up. And
Absolutely.
You're not a boxer. That's the good one.
Absolutely. I get paid. Somebody today, they made a comment. We were, talking online, and I was basically telling this person, like, you have no chance with me. This is not going to happen. This is not an option. This is never going to happen. And he goes, well, that's what I really like about you, your cruelty. And I'm like, yeah. People pay me for this. Are you getting it yet? Like, I mean, I don't know how more I can tell you. Like, it's like, I get paid for that. Like, yeah.
So you still do one-on-one stuff, but then you do group stuff as well.
Yeah. Well, the group stuff is more like, I'm just the hostess of a party. And everybody comes here and they do their own thing. And I'm like the hostess with the mostess.
Okay, I get it. So you just supervise.
I supervise. Exactly. I make sure everybody's playing safe. I make sure that there's enough water in the fridge. My subs make sure there's enough water in the fridge. I'm the supervisor. I oversee. I'm the grand dame of the ball, so to speak. Okay. So, which is nice. People bring me gifts. It's good to be the king.
That's always nice.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are more like intimate, I guess, one-on-one stuff when you actually get involved with your clients.
When people have private sessions, they'll book private sessions here. Couples will book private sessions. I mean, I occasionally get like 3 or 4 people in a group who want to learn something, so they'll book me for that so they can teach them something specific. But when people are coming here for a session, it's because they've been looking at porn all night and now they have a fantasy and they think, oh, this is where it's going to happen. You know, but I get to have a lot of fun with that as well.
Well, it's certainly an interesting job.
It is so interesting. I've learned, though, I've noticed in myself, even since our first interview, I've changed a little bit in like that. I don't take a lot of shit anymore. Like even just from like everyday life, like somebody, you know, like just even something simple as like, I don't like my meal. If I'm out with somebody and they don't like their meal, I'm like, yo, like I'll just, my confidence has really like changed.
Okay, so you found that was a positive thing for you as well.
Absolutely. Like it was already pretty high, but now it's higher.
That's pretty
Which is
interesting,
cool.
actually, because normally you don't think of it. Think of it the other way around. Like you would have to have a certain amount of confidence to do this to begin
Right.
with. So you don't think that it would be like that much.
Well, this is one of those jobs where like I hate whenever my mother's right, but fake it till you make it works really well. I mean, think about it. I'm in the sex industry. I'm a woman. Fake it. Works every time.
Well,
we kind of know how to do that.
I was going to say something. You guys are natural.
Yeah.
Do we have any new equipment?
Yes, we
Yeah.
do. Well, right here next to you,
Yes.
we have the puppy crate set up. We also have
that's what
a
it is.
kneeling. Yeah, the puppy
I
crate.
couldn't figure
Yeah,
out.
the puppy
crate I
crate
could get,
for
but
people that are
is.
not.
Okay,
familiar.
so the puppy crate serves two purposes. There are people who participate in pet play, which could involve puppies or kittens and even other kinds of animals as well. But like you would put a bad puppy in a puppy crate, or you
Giraffe
would
is
make
not gonna fit there.
right, or you would make them sit in there. But it's also humiliating just to put a human being in there and then having a party go on or having something like, and they're in a cage. Like they're.
So do you feed them
you
like
know?
Hansel and Gretel?
No. We give them a little bowl and keep it just out of reach.
You fatten them up for Christmas or something.
Something, right?
Something. Little gingerbread cookies.
Yeah, maybe. But, we'll throw stuff at them. Just in here. Gotcha. But no, so it does serve like you can use it for humiliation or you can use it for actual pet play and it doesn't have to be humiliating. That, though, the kneeling pillory, that's humiliating.
Well, imagine hurt your knees.
Yes, I recommend knee pads, but you could get hooked up to the sides.
You're not supposed to recommend devices that would help them.
Well, I was recommending that for you because you're a novice.
I'd like to see Boris.
Yeah,
that's
right?
not gonna happen.
Can we? Just open it up. Come on, your head fits right in there.
That wood will be destroyed in about 5 minutes. You ever see Hulk switch?
Yeah, not for nothing. It's pretty flimsy because it's old.
If
Somebody
he can't get
gave
it
to
off,
me.
he will walk out with it.
Yeah. Note to self.
Yeah.
So I stay away from
If you make
those kind of
Boris
things.
angry, move and run fast.
I deliberately do not make Boris angry.
Okay.
So
All
that's why
right,
you-
I've
fine.
always got
Chill.
candy in my pocket.
Yeah,
Smart move.
It's
Yeah.
probably not going to work.
Have you ever done the? You mentioned that one of the punishments you could do is kneeling on rice. Did you ever?
I
anybody-
haven't done that because I don't want to clean that up.
I
you know,
thought you make them clean it up.
well, it's still in my dungeon. Like,
true.
I would do that in a hotel room. I will do that someplace where, like, if I left a little bit of a mess behind, like,
Was that like a middle school punishment back in the day?
where'd you go to middle school?
From the old books, you read them to sit on corn or something like that. Right? Kneel
Maybe.
on corn.
I don't know where the hell you went to school,
Yeah,
but,
Serbia, but we learned stuff.
Yeah, I can't say that we learned stuff,
Yeah,
but we didn't get beaten.
Sitting on corn.
No, they didn't do that.
Not
I did
cobs.
get whack in the ear with the ruler when I was messing up.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure my husband went to Catholic school, and he tells me stories of, like, ruler coming across his knuckles and stuff like that. And
This was
Yeah,
me
I went to public
messing
school.
around in a math class. And the math teacher, it was like sixth grade or something, and all I heard first, you heard like the sound of the wind.
Yeah. Oh, I know it well.
And then it stung right here. And then I quickly solved the problem and moved on to the next one.
right. You're talking to a
Like,
sadist.
oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, like,
So
the
maybe my
sound
teachers
of a
was-
whip is just as powerful as the whip itself.
I'm sure teachers these days would appreciate that ability.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be good.
Oh, I'm sure that they're very envious of what I can and can't do to people.
Yes, sure they
And
are.
you also teach classes.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, just got
does
that.
any of your students show up with a 504 plan?
No, wouldn't that be awesome?
To give an IEP. I'm not allowed to sit on the rice.
No, but I've had them bring therapy dogs, which is weird. It's so weird.
Only cooked
Are you
rice.
serious?
Yeah.
That's strange.
It's so strange. I won't allow a therapy dog down in my dungeon just because I worry more about the dog, not the human.
It's like I'm too nervous to get beat
Right,
up.
like a dog can't process this. They don't know what's going on. But people
will need therapy after this.
exactly. But people have brought
Wow.
the like their dogs into like classroom environments and stuff, and I still don't think that's
That is wacky.
cool. But it's been done. You know, I mean, my classes are all about sadism and stuff, so it's really not a place for a dog. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
I think the poor dog would be traumatized.
Yeah.
Cat, on the other hand.
A cat would be like, I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
What'd you do then? Like, and what comes next? Yeah, I could definitely see that. But no, it's since COVID though, like I can honestly say parties are surprisingly back. Like people are coming out in full force now.
Yeah, I think.
Well, everyone was tortured for 2 years by the government
Well,
instead of you.
that's
They took
true.
it away from you.
That's
and
true.
now
we all had deprivation.
That's true.
Everybody
Although,
was in that crate for like.
yeah,
2
although
years.
you know, I wouldn't have been. You know, there's certain from a certain party we won't say out loud, but if they showed up here, they got the shit kicked out of them.
See, as somebody who didn't grow up in this country, I don't see the difference. I think they all suck equally.
They do all suck
They all
equally.
owned by the same corporate interests. So what difference does it make?
You know,
You just
well,
have
we
different
can ask
rappers.
Ben.
You can have different rappers. Yeah. It's like
You wrote
shit
Ben
candy
Franklin,
and-
right? He wrote that shit. Didn't he write half the stuff in the Constitution, right? So it's his fault. Let's blame him.
Ben was pretty cool. He had a kite.
Yeah, electrical kite. You should try that.
That's a good way to torture people.
I do.
You do have a kite?
That cabinet's filled with electrical equipment.
But it's not a kite.
No, it's better. It's a violet wand.
I guess the idea is for the customers to live and come back.
Well, I don't know. I have rope now with electrical tape running through it, so I can light that up with my wand.
I saw the shibari
like
rope
Chris-
out front. So you do a lot of that, like rope?
Yeah, we have a rope lab here now monthly.
nice. That's
So
really
someone comes here and teaches rope class, you know, a rope course. They teach how to tie knots. I've really learned how to be a Girl Scout all over again.
I should have consulted you before I shot, because I shot a horror film, and I just bought the tying stuff up. So the guy was tied up in most of the film, being tortured by this girl.
Okay.
And the shibari would look better, because
Yeah.
visually it's very cool looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I have tie-dyed shibari rope up there. I've got purple, pink. I got glow in the dark. I mean,
Next movie.
next, I got glow in the dark. That might
There's
work.
a sequel.
It might be.
It's a horror film. There's always going to be a sequel.
That's true.
Yeah, the
It never ends.
They never end. They never die. They always come back. It's, you know.
So for 2 years, that was a problem, right? With COVID and lockdown.
Yeah,
You
'cause
couldn't
there-
really do anything.
There weren't parties or anything. I mean, I was still seeing clients because I'm one-on-one. So, are you sick? No. Are you sick? No. Okay, so great. But to have parties, I was fine with it.
Thing.
I didn't care as much. Like, I was vaccinated. It worked for me. I never got COVID. But a lot of people didn't want to be around a lot of other people. Like, it just...
Oh, people freak out just walking down the street.
Yeah,
and jump run
you
across
needed
and
all the
like,
ducks to be in a row. And then I think that after a while, you know, everybody's starting to get back to normal. And people are like, okay, well, I guess if I'm going to meet other people...
Wait. Did you use the word normal?
Yeah? Aren't I normal? This isn't normal?
Abby. No.
Maybe.
Abby who? Abby Normal. Abby Normal. I'm almost sure that was the name.
But I think that people got hungrier, like for...
That's probably with everything. A restaurant, like
Yeah.
because
Everything.
you're cooped up for 2 years.
Yeah,
And
and
then
you're
trying to get
you're
out.
literally watching it on the internet. Like you're watching life happen, right? Without you. And so then it was like, well, I think people got a real sense of the mortality. So it was like bucket lists became not just a bucket list anymore. It became a to-do list. And I can't tell you how many people I meet who are like, yeah, this is my first party ever. Or this is the first time I've left my house in 4 years. Like,
crazy.
you know, there's a lot of, we're going to be doing a whole night for neurodivergent people. And it's more like on the spectrum, you know, so I'm not correct with all of the language that
Yeah,
I leave that up to my sub because he's a social worker, but It's really for anybody on the spectrum. Like, so we don't use the word Asperger's anymore, but people that are highly functioning and,
So wait, that was a diagnosis for highly functioning
autism.
Autism.
Now they don't use that either. Now they have different language for
Did
it.
they cure him?
No. Now they're just
No, that's a
neurodivergent.
Louis C.K. joke. Like, are you treating that person any better now? No, we're just going to call him something different.
Yeah.
But still the same.
Yeah, I mean, well, it works.
And it doesn't.
Well, yeah, it does, because we keep doing it and getting away with it, so it must be
It
working.
doesn't really help anyone.
No, but the concept is working. Like, whatever they're trying to accomplish, even if it's to just keep snowing you, it's working. You know, it's kind of like when people ask me all the time, like, what's it like, to be a sadist? Like, how do you, know that you're a sadist? And I'm like, and I'm sitting here going like, well, I'm just going to keep telling you things that just annoy you. Like, that's enough. So,
Wait a second. I mean, people who are asking about, my finger's not working today. I'm trying to direct this with my phone, but there's people who asked you that. Ever been to DMV?
The DMV? Yeah. Like the Division of Motor Vehicles?
Yes.
Yeah, those are all sadists that work there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you ever renewed your license, you know what it's like to be to go to a dungeon.
Right.
You know.
Except that now it's really fast to renew your license.
Going back to changing names, it's not the DMV anymore.
I know.
What is it?
It's the MVC.
The Motor Vehicle Commission.
So much for
right?
my Motor Vehicle Commission.
So they've done it too.
Yeah.
Which made it so much better.
It's so much better now.
Right. And I'm not really a dungeon. I'm a fantasy room.
I see. Oh, okay.
I mean, like,
So,
it's
fantasy.
right. That's what I tell women because it's easier for them to concept and, get over here.
Yeah, I guess that would be a good name change for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it can be any fantasy.
Absolutely. That, and I don't have an island, so.
Or
Fantasy Island was already
or
taken.
tattoo. Or the plane.
Yeah, no, true. But it's, I would say that, like, thank God it's over and that people are back to getting outdoors and experiencing life and meeting other people now.
Better hurry up before the next lockdown. So.
Well, yes, because they all have to relearn social skills. It's incredible. Oh
I noticed that with people. They don't communicate.
Have you, like, gone to a movie?
I stopped, you're going to laugh. I stopped going to movies years before COVID. The last movie I saw in the theater was Bad Santa.
Oh my God!
Because I get annoyed by people that talk, they answer the phones, that they chewing like chicken wings and God knows
Boris
what.
has issues.
No, it just I can't stand it. So it's
But that's what I was getting at. Like, it hasn't gotten better. It has not improved.
So,
I feel like you go to movies.
Yes, but I usually go to showings where there's nobody else, like 4:00 showings on a weekday.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
weekends, no.
But don't you find people are rude? And there used to be a culture in the movie theater, like, you don't talk, you don't do this. That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
People think that they're in their living room.
Yeah.
Because they spent 3 years in their living room.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure it's much worse than it was.
Yeah, that's my point.
I stopped going because of that years before COVID, but I can only imagine how much.
Yeah, it did not get improved.
But just driving. Do you ever notice since COVID that there are just a lot more idiots?
Oh, like the idiot who drives all alone in his car with a mask on?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, those are geniuses. I applaud those people.
I'm like, you're alone in a box. Moving.
The amount of ignorance that requires, it's like a miracle.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. I agree with you there. I mean, and I'm like, I don't even care that people are wearing masks. You want to wear a mask? Fucking wear a mask.
Look,
I don't
most
care.
ugly people should wear a mask.
Most what?
Ugly people should wear a mask.
Ugly people.
I was always for that.
Well, I have to tell you
It had
something.
nothing to do with COVID.
I would feel a lot, like, you hear, like, people say all the time, like, they would meet people and you think that they look one way, like, especially in schools, right? Like, when my daughter was going through school, like, you'd meet people and you're only seeing them from here up. And then when you meet them, you're like, is that you? I had no idea you look like that. Like,
some people, it did improve because they have great eyes, but they don't necessarily have,
I can only imagine how imagine dating during COVID.
I don't think people dated really during COVID. I think that was one of the biggest problems.
But
I think that's why my business is so good.
That's true. But maybe they had like a Zoom date with a
I
mask,
saw some
with a
Zoom
mask
dates
on.
like on TV. They had some Zoom date shows, and I was like,
That must be awful.
Get comfortable with more dating shows now because with everybody on strike, that's all we're going to get.
More reality shows, yes.
Yeah. Woo!
You should have a reality show here.
We've tossed around all different kinds of ideas. Right now, the one idea that I think we're going forward with, me and my friend Nicholas Tannick, who's the host of Your Kinky Friends, we're starting a podcast where, do you remember the old Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Big fan.
We're going to do that to porn films.
Oh, Jesus.
I would watch that.
Like, we're going to do that to
You should do
porn.
like the old 70s.
Yeah, that's
When
what
they
we're
were
starting.
trying to
Like
have
the
a
old
story,
70s
yeah.
porn.
You can't do it.
Like, yeah, I'm not
Anything.
doing it like on new porn. Plus, I'm sure the rights with that is all fucked up. So,
Right. No one owns anything.
you know, so
They don't
we could
bother.
do old porn and nobody will care.
With the crotch afros and stuff.
Yes, exactly. And that's what's going to be funny.
I
Like,
was talking to my friends. If you would go back in time, that's one thing you're going to have to get. You're going to have to get yourself, because everybody is.
I talk about that
maintained now.
all the time.
Yeah.
I will never go back in time. Do you know how sick I would get instantly because I'm so well protected against diseases? And everybody, depending on how far you go back, there was a time when there was no soap. Like, seriously, you can only go back so far before people just really smelled bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not even that far.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And because come from a generation of people that bathe like every day and everything, we would get violently ill. We would catch a disease like that.
Or just constantly vomit from the
the smell. Yes. So I've been thinking about that. Everybody was, because I saw the Broadway musical 6 and I'm like obsessed with it, and it's all I've been singing in my head and everything. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, everybody smelled so bad back then. Like, no wonder nobody wanted to screw anybody, because you didn't want to get that close to anyone.
That's why I'm not into rent fairs.
Because they all smell bad.
If you want to be authentic.
There's the level of authenticity in a Ren fair I can do without. I agree with you.
There is, yeah, because
I'm like, those people go like.
There is a level where you're like,
Alex
you know
because
what?
He's a big rent fair guy.
here's a problem.
Right, we know.
Most of your rent fairs happen during the warmer seasons, and you're wearing
Really
English
heavy clothing.
velvet. You're wearing like heavy
And
velvet.
wool.
Yeah.
Like linen from, not
Even-
like lanolin. It's not even like good linen. It's like cardboard.
But even if you're wearing modernized versions of that, it's
doesn't
still
breathe.
like, it's still long sleeves and long pants and everything. And
Just
there's
a
a
lack
lot
of
of
sanitation.
sweating.
I
There's
would
a
not wanna go
lot
back
of
to that
smelling.
point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can pretend, I guess. That's fine. But to actually have a hot tub time machine and go back in time.
Yeah, we'd be horrified. We'd be
like,
like,
no way.
I'm out of here. This is gross.
You'd constantly be going back to the hot tub to clean
Well,
up.
look, exactly. But you have more conveniences than King of Italy.
First of all, they would look at us and be like, "Oh my God, you have no dirt on your face. Who are you?
You have
I
all
don't
your
care.
teeth.
You have all your teeth,
All teeth.
all the teeth,
Yeah.
real hair.
No syphilis.
Yeah,
That's
they'd be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
aliens.
Yeah.
Run.
Witch.
Run.